Hey there, welcome to Rows. In this video, we'll be looking at how you can connect your bank account to a row spreadsheet, list and categorize your transaction or expenses, and generate insightful reports out of them. Let's dive right in. The first thing I'm going to do is click on our Data Actions button right here, search for bank account. And at this point in time, our integration connects to over 12,000 different bank accounts across the EU and the US. As next steps, I'm going to go ahead and click on the Get Transactions from your bank account option there. You can check the existing accounts that you've connected from this dropdown here. In case you'd like to connect to a new bank account, you can do so from here as well. I'm going to go ahead and select the N26 account for now. Imagine if you have more than one account in the same bank, you'd be able to see that as well from under this dropdown like so. In case you'd like to pull data from a specific date or for a particular period, you could do that by setting the date range here. Once you're happy with this configuration, you can then go ahead and click on Create Data Table. Give it a couple seconds and you should see the data populate like so. In case you wish to add the next set of transactions automatically to the spreadsheet, you can then click on the Automation tab and toggle this data refresh on. By default, we set the data refresh to happen every day, which is perfect. And we also have the table configured in a way where the new transactions get logged one below another. I'm going to go ahead and close this panel for now. As you review the data on this table here, you'd find that you may not always want some of these columns, and you can even delete some of those columns like so. For instance, I'm going to go ahead and delete this as well as this column here. There are a couple different ways in which you can categorize this information. One is to use the existing category that you receive from the integration itself. But these categorizations may not always reflect the reality. And to remedy that, you could use one of our OpenAI functions to categorize these expenses. Here's how. I'm going to go ahead and click on this plus icon here, select formula, name this AI classification. And as for the formula, I'm going to use classify OpenAI. The text in this case is our name column here. As for tags, this could be any kind of categorization you want. So in this case, I'm going to go food, shopping, travel, technology, and let's say other. As for the multi-tag, I'm going to set that to false. Once you're happy with the formula, you can go ahead and click Save All Changes and give it a couple seconds for OpenAI functions to be triggered all the way across the column. Once you have your categories, you can even think about breaking this data by week. To do that, I'm going to use our AI analyst function here and say, add a column with week number based on date, and hit enter. Give it a couple seconds and you should see a new column being added with the actual week number like so. Now let's see if you can summarize this data in a meaningful way. For that, I'm going to go ahead and select the entire data table here, go to Insert and add a pivot table. For rows, I'm going to go ahead and select the AI classification that we created. For columns, I'm going to choose the week number. As for the values, I'm going to go ahead and select the amount and choose the sum option like so. And there you have it. That's a summary of your expenses based on different weeks. I'm going to go ahead and close this panel here. There's a third way to categorize your expenses, and that's by doing them manually. You can do that by clicking the plus option here, selecting the standard column type. I'm going to name this manual classification. Now, instead of manually typing the categories each time, let's go ahead and create a dropdown instead. For that, I'm going to go ahead and click on our insert option there, select dropdown list, and choose the same items as before, which is food, shopping, travel, technology, and let's say other. Once you're happy with your items here, you can click on create dropdown like so. And once you have that, you can copy this dropdown and paste it all the way across the column. After that, you can manually categorize them as you see fit. There you go. You can even create charts from this categorized data. To do that, I'm going to go back to our AI analyst and say, create a pie chart based on AI classification against the total amount spent, and hit enter. Give it a couple seconds for the AI analyst to process. There you go. You have all the different categories of expenses in a pie chart. Next, let's say instead of categorizing these expenses, you'd like to see a summary based on the merchant name. And let's also assume that not all bank accounts would provide you with a merchant name to begin with. Let's see a live example to understand this better. For that, I'm going to go ahead and click on Add Page. Once again, click on Data Actions, search for Bank Account, Select the get transactions from a bank account. And this time I'm going to leave it to the default connection as well as the default account, last 30 days, and click create data table. There you go. And as you can see here, the merchant name column is empty. To remedy this, you can once again use one of our OpenAI function to extract the merchant name from the name column. Let's see that in action. For that, I'm going to go ahead and click on this plus icon here, select formula, and call it AI merchant. For the formula, I'm going to say extract OpenAI. The element should be the merchant name, and the text is the actual name column here. Close the bracket and save all changes. Give it a couple of seconds, and there you go. Once you have this information, you can once again summarize the data either using our AI analyst or our pivot table. I'm going to choose the AI analyst here, and let's create a summary of amount spent based on AI merchant. And hit enter. Give it a couple seconds for the AI analyst to do its magic. And there you go. This is now the summary of the amount that you've spent based on different merchants. There's so much more you can do with our banking integrations, like creating a table with balance over time and charting it just to keep tab on the amount that you have available in your bank account. I hope this video helps, and thanks for watching.